EG Puma, I think the clear favorite in this matchup, not only known for being an extremely skilled player, but also the returning champion. Can he pull it off again, or would Liquid Sheth cause the upset?
Well, let's introduce our players here in the southeast on Crevasse. He is our purple Zerg. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Liquid Sheth.
And in the bottom left, hoping to be the second EG player to advance today, and of course the returning champion of the NASL, EG's Puma.
I think that would be a feat that would certainly be quite amazing to see pulled off. As I mentioned earlier, Day 9, just not a whole lot of examples of people actually repeating wins. And when I say repeating wins, literally sort of back-to-back in this capacity. So certainly something that could happen. Sheth, I'm very interested to see, and you mentioned it earlier, is just exactly how these two players' clashes of style are going to take place and how this is going to unfold here. Sheth, typically a guy who, doesn't get hung up on very, very quick Terran aggression, seems to be calm, cool, and collected and handling it. And Puma, undoubtedly a guy that can, make Zergs have nightmares. And this should be a great matchup here. So we are going to see the very, very quick hatch first coming out of Sheth, as Puma just pretty much going for a standard wall in here on Crevasse.
And one thing that's sort of unique about Sheth is the fact that he really does like doing a lot of these seemingly random early aggression. He'll just pop right in with a bunch of roaches at the start of the game, or with some odd Baneling bust that can catch the opponent off guard very frequently. And I think that is something that Puma definitely needs to look out for. Crevasse, though, very easy to defend. And ooh, that drone did manage to slip on in there.
Yeah, he did. Supply depot couldn't go down in time, and that means he will see that there is not a gas going down, and that's a very important thing for him to gather at this moment in time. So Puma's going to be, he's just going to have to deal with the fact that information was known. Marine is out. It'll come up here, take care of this drone, no problem. But drone won't make it easier. Meanwhile, the SCV is moving over and does see that the hatchery is up. It looks like he's going to go ahead and back away as one drone goes down. Make sure that there's no we stole this gas up here. Make sure there's no bunker in production. So Sheth and Puma both doing all the right things right now.
And one of the most dangerous spots on this entire map is this small set of destructible rocks. Idra even mentioned this in his pregame interview. When tanks get sieged up at this top zone, it is almost impossible for Zerg to move very easily. So this area, a lot of opportunities for early Terran aggression, a lot of opportunities for Zerg to be counter-aggressive in the case of a large push. But interestingly, look at that. 2 gas geysers down before Puma even has any other barracks up. Is he going to be going for a mech play?
Yeah, and you know what? The drone didn't see that. The drone tried to get down there for a second look, but the Marine was diligent about making sure that he got his kill and took home dinner for the evening. So the drone never got the information they actually needed to get there and see both of those gases. And we can affirm that by looking at the vision of Sheth. Meanwhile, there's that Roach Warren going down, and although he is supply blocked and there is no Overlord in sight, the Roach, and he is not going to catch wind of that. Puma is going to have his SCV eliminated.
And now it looks like Sheth just canceled it. That's actually quite a clever play to say, you know what? Roach Warren, obviously going to cancel it. Relatively inexpensive investment, doesn't tie up any of my gas early on. Interestingly, Puma going to immediately leap into action with 4 Marines. This is a pretty safe play. Essentially, Puma is saying Marines are the same speed as Roaches. I can always retreat safely should I see them coming. But he's going to be right up against a bunch of speed Zerglings very soon.
Yep, we got several more. Only a few out right now, actually. There they are now starting to come down. No, actually none. There's only a few out right now. And just continuing to drone up. More importantly, he's at 24-31. Sheth with a slight lead there. Has a spine crawler further from his ramp than you would think, but because of the area of attack in which the Hellions and or Marines are going to come in at, it's a good place for those to be. Meanwhile, a couple of Overlords getting ready to scout inside to the base of Puma, or at least in position to do so. And there's the tech lab going down on the racks with the factory out, and these Hellions are starting to be mass produced.
And this is a style of play that is very, very fun to see. Puma going all aggression at the start, trying to get little tiny edges. Can I control space with the Hellions? Can I pick off Overlords with my Starport? We see Liquid Sheth now trying to move forward, getting up his Evolution Chamber. Everything's quite normal in Camp Sheth. He has not quite done much with the 300 minerals he could spend on a hatchery, has not yet quite built a lair. A little bit of indecision by Sheth. He has actually a lot of money. Sheth getting dangerously close to 1K.
Yeah, about 700 right now as it continues to stack up as he's just droning. There's lair gets thrown down. Really interested to see what is going to happen now that we've got this Viking out. Viking's going to pass by the Southern. There he turns around, and he will go ahead and take out that Overlord. There'll be another within vision and possible kill range there. But most importantly, this Viking is likely also going to scout this third pocket expansion going up, and that is another hard supply block here for Sheth. Meanwhile, several Hellions making their way in.
We do see these Hellions at the north position. Sheth does have some well-placed Zerglings, but Puma has an answer every time. Now it looks like Puma is transitioning into a fairly drop-heavy style. Zergling's going to poke up the ramp, see that there's nothing that they can get information-wise. Hellions also pulling back. Sheth, again, just doing a fairly standard tech all the way up to that layer. We see that there's a Baneling Nest in production. Interestingly, +1 armor rather than some sort of +1 attack. That definitely helps those Zerglings withstand a little bit of extra tank fire and can also help you manage drops a little bit more easily.
And those Lings now up in the upper northwest corner. The Hellions were able to kill and now contain. There are a lot of Lings now out on the map. This Viking is going to come on over. What does it see out of his vision? Sees a few Lings up there protecting that third. But you know what? More importantly, these juicy Overlords that he's going to have easy access to take out. There is only one Queen now making her way over. She was the Queen from the natural. And there could be more opportunities. Here comes a big drop into the third, but there are a lot of Lings there.
Oh, Sheth needs to answer quickly and reposition those Zerglings, but he waits a little bit too long, and it looks like there now he's swinging around Banelings at the front side, and it looks like, Puma snipes too late.
He does manage to take one out, but the second one did a lot of the damage considering that those guys were already hurt pretty badly. Unfortunately, Hellions not making their way in for any sort of additional attack on top of that. Considering that there's just the one spine crawler, getting behind that mineral line could have been really detrimental at that point. It was not like there was a whole lot of Lings left over. There's now 19 out on the map, but that could have been beneficial for Puma as well.
I do think that hurt Puma quite a bit more than might seem apparent at that time. Puma invested so much getting all those Marines and drops and Vikings out. We see the combat shield is not done yet. I believe that's the first tank out on the field, and you definitely need a high tank count if you want to start being aggressive. And in the meantime, we see Sheth doing something very Stefano-esque, beginning to rack up a ton of Zerglings very, very early, racking up those Zergling upgrades. A fourth base down from Sheth. He is in big macro mode, and oh wait, I love this. We see Burrow incoming for Sheth.
Yep, we're going to have a couple of Hellions getting picked off in the middle of the field as well. And with the Zergling count so high, it's not in a situation where Sheth is really going to lose any number of Zerglings. It's going to make this rough. But a lot of Marines are out. These Marines have absolutely no weapon upgrades right now, but they do have stim and they do have combat shield, which would be very, very important. A couple of Banelings, though, could completely ruin their day, and we have 7 on the way for Sheth right now. He's going to position those in a great little spot to see if they do decide to come up here. And in fact, he's got quite a few, even some saved over from earlier before, and he looks like he might actually go in for this. He's got to be very, very careful. Oh, the retreat. I think he could have done some damage.
Sheth's got to be careful. He has to pick off this one. There we go. Now he can safely burrow. Ooh, it looks like he will pull back, and Burrow is going to be one of the best options ever. You know, Marcus, I think he could burrow.
I know. It's a good thing to do, especially in this area right here. Right now, Sheth has actually, he is sitting on prime real estate. Then, of course, we do have another drop going up here from the corner. There's no defense of this right now.
Oh, Mutalisk being haphazardly thrown at this. Very, very dangerous play at this point in time. Couple Zerglings, a little bit of uncharacteristic disorganization from Sheth. 1 Muta goes down, 2 Mutas go down, 3 Mutas go down. This drop doing a lot more damage than it really deserves to do. And here comes Puma, an amazing defense. So that drop. Very nice.
Oh, man, scaring us here as we do see the Mutas stayed alive. But consider that with several gone down, there could have been 12 mutas instead of the 10 that are out right now. Even a few more. But again, do we have still the Viking up at the top? We've got Hellion denying the third, and another drop is coming out here. I mean, right now, Puma is really doing a great job shutting this down. No banelings here, so more drones will fall. The Queen is going to go down as well. In fact, Mutas, how is he going to pick this up?
Where are the Mutalisks right now for Sheth? He has 12 out on the field. The Ling Baneling now moving up, and it looks like Sheth will fortunately be able to take out. Ooh. That was a successful Baneling hit. Another drop from Puma. You know, I'm a little surprised to see Puma doing these sorts of plays. I don't think that this is going to be the best way to whittle down Sheth. I mean, he pulls away from this expansion that was almost not really needed for mineral purposes. The only clear advantage it's giving Puma is this opportunity to siege up these tanks. And once these tanks are up, Sheth is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Oh, it's such a scary position to be in right now. The Muta's trying to make some sort of attack work here at the third as well, but the turrets will ward them away, also knowing that the imminent threat of these siege tank and Marines are here, knocking at the front door, and now moving into position, trying to take out a siege tank. The Marines are going to spring to action, and they do manage to take out several more Mutas. And right now, this position is oh so scary for a Zerg player right now, and Puma is doing exactly what he needs to try to take advantage of it. But look at the positional shift here by Sheth.
Sheth is swinging around from all angles. It looks like Sheth has decided that now's the time, but oh no! Puma surrounds Sheth's counter force, and it looks like Puma cleans it up with relative ease. Sheth running very low on options.
Oh, yeah. Right now, the supply, too, in favor of Puma. 154, 136. Taking a look at the unit counting station, it is 7 Mutas now out on the field. 14 Banelings and 50 Zerglings. But again, this position is so brutal here for the composition that Sheth currently has available.
Sheth trying to swing around, knows that that sort of crunch play is what he needs to make work. But it looks like Puma's already pushing into the natural. Sheth now trying to go in for a big kill at Puma's front, but Puma has such good macro. Units just continue to stream out, and while it looks like Puma's cleaning up this counter force, meanwhile, at the natural expansion, Sheth is starting to slowly lose grip.
Yeah, Queen's gone down. Hatchery's about ready to go down. Now that attack.
There's a good game.
There it is, GG. Game 1 goes to EG's Puma.